Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a reality that is, quite frankly, terrifying. We're going to look at how modern cyber threats can escalate from the absolute smallest everyday tech mistake to a devastating global attack that literally brings entire supply chains to their knees. Let's get right into it.
Picture this. You're at work, maybe in a highly secure area, and you glance down at your phone. 1% battery left. You need a charge, and fast. So you spot an open USB port on a nearby piece of machinery, or maybe a restricted console, and you just plug it in. Seems innocent enough, right? But seriously, how much damage can a dying phone battery really cause? Well, as we'll see throughout this explainer, that simple, almost subconscious action, it's often the very first micro step in a massive macro disaster.
To set the stage here, let's look at an environment with absolutely zero margin for error, the global maritime shipping industry. Today's global transport network thrives entirely on digital systems. We're talking about managing highly sensitive cargo manifests, coordinating complex port logistics, and running the actual onboard engine controls. A modern cargo ship is essentially a massive floating data center. If those digital systems go down, that ship is dead in the water. But here is the wild irony. Despite the multi-million-dollar technology powering these vessels, their absolute biggest vulnerabilities come down to simple human habits. Industry reports constantly highlight incredibly common yet highly dangerous cyber hygiene mistakes. We're talking about crew members charging their personal phones on critical bridge consoles just to get a little extra juice, or a third-party service provider coming aboard and sticking an unverified USB thumb drive right into the ship's core network. There are even cases of crew hooking up manufacturer-delivered engine laptops to the ship's Wi-Fi, completely ignoring strict instructions not to do so. In 1 second, these small actions totally bypass rigorous security protocols.
And that is the crucial point. While actions like quickly charging your phone or connecting a laptop seem totally harmless in the moment, they represent the absolute root of massive systemic vulnerabilities. It all boils down to poor personal cyber hygiene. You see, an unsecured phone connected to a secure network basically acts as a bridge for malicious software. A single infected USB stick can map an entire internal network before anyone even realizes what's happened. Without meaning to, the user has just unlocked the front door from the inside.
Now, it's one thing when this leads to an accidental breach, a casual mistake during a normal workday. But what happens when malicious actors hunt for those exact same vulnerabilities to carry out deliberate, targeted, geopolitical sabotage? The scale of the threat multiplies exponentially.
Section 1. The 2026 Stryker Wiper Attack, a case study in destructive escalation.
To understand the stakes here, you have to know that Stryker is a global powerhouse, holding massive medical equipment contracts with the U.S. military. Walk through this timeline with me to see exactly how their systems collapsed on the morning of March 11, 2026. According to internal reports, the first system anomalies popped up around 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. By 3:30 a.m., the attack had completely metastasized across Stryker's entire global network. By the time most employees were just waking up for work, a massive global operating system reset had already been pushed out by the attackers. The malware was rapidly wiping critical servers and employee devices completely clean. The speed of this thing was just absolutely terrifying. And here is the staggering scale of that devastation. 200,000. That's the number of Stryker servers, internal systems, and individual employee devices that an Iranian hacktivist group known as Handala claimed to have hit during this breach. And on top of wiping those 200,000 devices, they claimed to have stolen a massive 50 terabytes of data. In just a matter of hours, a highly sophisticated corporate infrastructure was effectively vaporized. Now, I know numbers like 200,000 devices and 50 terabytes can feel a bit abstract, so let's ground this in the actual, on-the-ground human chaos. As the systems went dark, panicked employees flocked to anonymous internet forums to try and figure out what was happening. One employee posted, "The entire company is at a complete stop. Also, the servers at the data center are inaccessible." Hackers had compromised administrator accounts and literally plastered their logo across internal login pages. The entire company was completely paralyzed. And this damage cascaded all the way down to the individual level, which circles us right back to that personal cyber hygiene we were talking about earlier. Check out this report from an employee based in Australia. Have lost all personal data from personal devices that were enrolled and now unable to access emails and Teams. Since a lot of employees had their personal cell phones enrolled in the company's network for two-factor authentication, the malicious wipe command erased their personal phones too. People were scrambling to aggressively scrub corporate apps from their own devices, just desperately trying to save the personal data.
To truly wrap our heads around what happened, we need to understand the specific weapon used here. This was a wiper attack. Now, this is very different from traditional ransomware, where attackers lock up your data and demand a massive payout to hand over the key. A wiper attack has a totally different motive. It is purely destructive. It's designed to permanently erase, overwrite, and destroy data and systems. There is no negotiation. There is only the sudden, total shutdown and complete destruction of the target's digital existence.
And this incident definitely doesn't exist in a vacuum. Wiper attacks are rapidly escalating as a tool of state-sponsored disruption. Back in 2012, the Shimon attack, attributed to Iran, erased 30,000 systems at Saudi Aramco. In 2014, North Korea used wiper malware in the infamous Sony Pictures hack to cause massive corporate damage. And between 2024 and 2026, we saw extensive use of wipers, attributed to Russia, targeting critical energy grids in Ukraine and Poland. So, the Stryker attack? It's part of a growing, highly destructive geopolitical trend.
So you might be wondering, why Stryker? Let's look at the stated motivations behind this specific event. The hacktivist group Handla publicly claimed responsibility, and they stated this attack was direct retaliation for a U.S. bombing of an all-girls school in Iran, which occurred during a broader U.S.-Israeli military assault. So they were framing the total destruction of Stryker's data as a direct geopolitical counterstrike.
And this claim aligns very closely with prior public warnings issued by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC. They had already declared that specific types of corporate infrastructure were considered targets. That included U.S. companies with links to Israel, tech firms assisting military operations, and major cloud infrastructure providers. When you factor in that Stryker holds nearly $500 million in active medical supply contracts with the U.S. Defense Logistics Agency, it becomes pretty clear how they fit the exact profile of these declared targets. Moving into Section 2, future-proofing our defenses, preparing for next-generation threats.
To survive this incredibly hostile new landscape, organizations are being forced to take aggressive, systemic action. First up, they are implementing strict zero-trust frameworks globally. That means no device, whether it's the CEO's laptop or a technician's personal phone, is ever trusted by default, regardless of where it connects from. Second, networks have to be prepped for incoming AI and quantum computing threats, which can shatter traditional defenses in literally seconds. Finally, and this is absolutely critical, organizations must adopt the very latest regulations, specifically the new post-quantum cryptography standards from the National Institute of Standards and Technology. We're talking about NIST, FIPS 203, 204, and 205. These international standards are designed specifically to secure our data against the advanced decryption tools of tomorrow.
Which brings us to a final thought I want to leave you with today. We started this whole thing by looking at a dying phone battery and an innocent charging cable. And we ended with the total vaporization of 200,000 corporate systems in a geopolitical wiper attack. The domino effect is very real, and the stakes have literally never been higher. So I have to ask, is your personal and corporate cyber hygiene truly ready for a world where data isn't just held for ransom, but completely erased in an instant? Think about that the next time you plug in your device. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and stay safe out there.